Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the KetoMom page. My name is Stephanie, and we're going to dive right into the book. Mainly, I'm not allowing myself to chatter because I have lots of things I have to do this morning. So as you're tuning in, I would love to know, where are you tuning in from? I will tell you. I am tuning in from Minnesota. I was going to say Minnesota, except for I walked outside, and it is beautiful. The sun is shining. I'm pretty sure, so we live on a lake. I'm looking right over here to the lake. Pretty sure that we have to have water show through by the end of the weekend. So I am believing, I'm not sure where you're tuning in from, but I am believing that spring is here. No more negative days, no more snow. Anybody want to agree with me? You might be living where there is no snow. Listen, I need spring. I need to go outside. So, where are you tuning in from? Is it sunny? Is it rainy? What's the weather like right now? Not that I just like to talk about the weather, but I actually like to know. All right. If you have been following along here on the KetoMom page, you know that we go through a book every single morning to help you get your mindset on track in the right direction so that you can accomplish the goals that you want, right? If you wake up with a happy spirit, with a thankful heart, if you wake up with a mentality of, yes, I get to do another day. I feel like I have an eyelash in my eye. I get to do another day. You're thankful for another day. I get to take my kids to school. I get to go to work. All of the I get to's, if you wake up with a thankful heart, you're going to have a better day. You're going to choose better. Hey, Krista, I used to live in Oklahoma. Edmond, I love Oklahoma. I love everywhere I've lived. We've lived in Oklahoma, Florida, Kentucky, Minnesota. All of them are great. All right, here's what we're going to start with. I want you to see, he talks about, so in this book, we're talking about the power of magic of thinking big. It's really switching your mindset to not the, I have to, it's always me, it never will be. Do you know what I mean? 2, seeing what can be, not just what is. So future focused. What do you want? I'm pretty sure all of you have goals. Like deep down, you've got something that you would love to achieve, accomplish, whatever the case may be. I want you to start seeing what can be, not what currently is right now, right? So he says, big thinkers train themselves to see not just what is, but what can be. He says, here's 4 examples. He says, what gives real estate value? I'm not going to read the stories to you, but number 1, he says, when a real estate agent goes into a home, he doesn't always see what is. Well, a good real estate agent, he doesn't always see what is. He sees what can be, and he writes down ideas, and that's what he shares with his potential buyers. He sees what can be. He casts vision, right? He says, the real estate agent says, I develop my entire sales plan around what can be, not just simply what I see. There's lots of stories throughout this. The moral of the story is this: look at things not as they are, but as they can be. Visualization adds value to everything. A big thinker always visualizes what can be done in the future. He isn't stuck with the present. So you could even say that right now with your health goals, your health journey, your fat loss, your whatever you're wanting, whether it's I want to run a marathon, I want to lose some fat, I want to get healthy. I want you to start seeing yourself as that. Like visualization is very, very powerful. So not just looking in the mirror today going, I hate how I look. I don't like what I'm doing. I will never be. The words that come out of your mouth are powerful, but I want you to start seeing yourself future focused, because as you do that and as you visualize and as you see yourself achieving those goals, it's going to push you to achieve those goals. One more day, one more step, one more decision every single day, right? 1% better. He says, number 2, he says, how much is a customer worth? Then he tells another story about a customer that comes in. This customer buys something specifically for 39 cents. The cashier says it's 49 cents. The cashier got mad. He only saw the dime, not the potential the customer was over the years. I will tell you, this book is a little bit harder to go through because it's very story-driven, but basically he says this. The example is the checker only saw the dime, not the potential of what the customer had over years coming back. So he's really trying to teach you how to be future-focused, right? Not just in the present. So whether it is a real estate agent looking at a piece of land, whether you work someplace where you have customers and you potentially see the customers coming back all the time, not just that one time. It's adding value to people's lives. Does this make sense? I was going through this and I'm like, this is hard to explain. There's a couple more stories, but basically he says this. I need you to determine what determines how much you're worth. He says, I've determined not to let what I haven't gotten stop me or determine how much I'm worth. He says, I've been analyzing a lot of people lately, and I've noticed this. People who don't have much look at themselves as they are now, as they are today. That's all they see. They don't see the future. They just see the miserable present. He says, my friend was really speaking from the heart, and after a moment he says, if I looked at myself strictly as I am today, old cars, low income, cheap apartment, not feeling good, a hamburger diet, I couldn't help but be discouraged. I'd see a nobody, and I'd be a nobody for the rest of my life. What you see is what you're going to get. What you believe is really what you're going to get. What you speak is what you're going to get. He said, I've made up my mind to look at myself as the person I'm going to be in a few short years. He also acknowledged the fact that it takes some time to get to where you want to go. I see myself not as a rate clerk, but as an executive. I don't see a crummy apartment. I see a fine new suburban home. And when I look at myself that way, I feel bigger, I think bigger, and I've gotten plenty of personal experience to prove it'll all pay off. He says, it isn't what one has that's important. Rather, it's how much one is planning to get that counts. The price tag the world puts on us is just about identical to what we put on ourselves. So then he goes into like practicing gratitude, adding value to people's lives, thinking bigger, believing bigger. So many stories. Practice thinking big. This is so story-driven. I'll tell you this. I love going through books with you. My goal as we're going through a book is to give you just a simple nugget to think through throughout the day. Because as you do that, my hope is that as you go throughout the day, just like I told you the story yesterday, if you watched my live yesterday, my day prior was one of those days that not if it could go wrong, it was going wrong, but I could have easily went down the rabbit hole of negativity. Does this make sense? And so when you read and you fill your mind with good thoughts and a heart of gratitude, and when you learn how to shift your thinking, you're going to eventually reach your goals. You're going to eventually see yourself as that person you want to become. It's not going to happen without putting the right things in your mind. And I say this little phrase often. As I think, so I feel. As I feel, so I do. As I do, so I have. That one phrase has really shifted. If I've got a negative mindset, I'm like, oh my goodness, my negative mindset's causing me to feel a certain way, which is going to cause me to do something certain, which is not going to meet the outcomes that I want, right? If you listened to my live yesterday, if I would have gone down the rabbit hole of like all of the things that happened, I could have easily felt crabby. I could have easily grabbed the cake, which therefore would not have gotten me to where I want to go, right? So my hope is I hope you realize there's books that I will choose that have like do this, like The Miracle Morning. And then there's books that are very story driven that I'm not going to read all of it to you. I will give you a suggestion or a thought. We'll probably go through this book a little faster than I thought because there's so many stories. So my hope is to pick out the golden nugget, to give you something to think about, and then we will talk about it every day. If you want to grab the book, awesome. If you don't, hop on here and grab a little nugget. My nugget for you today is this. Don't just feel like what you see physically in front of you today is all that there will be or is all that there is for you. You've got to see future focused what you're wanting. You want the 50 pounds of fat loss. You want to be able to run whatever that race is that you want to run, or go to the gym, or whatever. What is it? And it might not even be health related. I see myself paying off all my debt. I see myself being financially free. I see myself having a great relationship with my marriage. I'm not seeing it as it is today. I have a great marriage. But like, if you don't, or any type of relationship, don't see it as it is today and think that it's how it's always going to be. See where you want it, and then you've got to work to get there. Make sense? Mindset's important. So that is what we're going to discuss today. I am always here to help. So if you've got questions on mindset, other books to read, where to get started on your health journey, any questions, I would love for you to send me a message. I'm always here to help. Otherwise, your thoughts become things. Pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to what you're speaking. Pay attention to the people that you're around. You become like the top 5 people that are in your sphere of influence. Super important. So I hope you have an incredible day. We'll talk to you soon.